Hey everyone, Mr. Slaby here. I have been tasked by the team to walk you through the characterization that we're introducing today. This is a really important part of the writing process. Here's the thing, is that we're working on creating a round character versus a flat character. Now, we want to really focus on creating a round character because here's what we know. Telling a story revolves around really two main things. You need characters, right? You need a problem, and you plot the characters into a situation where there's a problem and then they react, and that's how we find out who they are. So let's take a look at a flat character first. You're going to be taking notes today. I want you to do this. I want you to draw this. It doesn't have to be very big, maybe like this much of your page. And I want you to write flat character on it. And I want you to write down these things. So a flat character doesn't change. They don't have depth. They don't have much to them. They are pretty surface. They don't need to be in a story, and they don't add much to the story. And they can be eliminated pretty easily. If you think about this, most flat characters, we don't know much about them. We don't need to know much about them. We don't care much about them. And in some movies, like horror movies, flat characters they're eliminated pretty quick. They're there to show us that there's a danger, right? There's a killer out there, and he kills the flat character because we don't care. We just need to know there's a danger. Then we'll see the real characters, the round characters, respond to that problem of a killer. Lastly, it doesn't make us consider their perspective. Flat characters, we don't care what they think. We don't learn from them. A true round character makes us wonder, like, I wonder if I would have responded that same way as they did. So we don't want flat characters. All right. Now I want you to draw this stick figure below that. Make it bigger because you're going to need room. So this whole thing should take about a page. A round character has parts to them. They have multiple elements to who they are. And you can kind of guess. So I want you to draw this word bubble, this thought bubble, this super awesome smiley face, this cell phone. That's obviously an iPad, or an iPhone. And then I want you to draw the legs like this. Though they're not stick figure like that, pretty simple. See, the legs are in motion. They're running, and the arms are flexing, okay? The reason why we do that is a round character, make them respond to a conflict, and then stuff starts to happen. For instance, speech. A character will always say things in some way, and how they say it is really important. For instance, if I'm from the South, if my character's from the South, I might have a Southern drawl, right? My language might show that. I might also be very, very proper and educated, and therefore I might use huge words like ebullient and effusive. So if I'm using big words, that tells you about who I am. If I use a lot of slang, like I'm trying to say something's cool and I say, oh, that's the bomb, then you know I'm from the 90s or the early 2000s, more like late 90s. If I say that's lit, that's about 2004. If I say that's beast, now we're talking 2009. I mean, like, what you say, the words you choose matter, and how you say it. Maybe I just yell everything and I speak really fast. That's all part of speech. So how a character speaks is really important. Relationships, the relationships with other characters. So who I relate to, how I relate to them, how I talk to them, how they talk to me. If a whole story is written from the perspective of one character and they just shred their teacher, the whole story, then we know about that teacher. So the relationship is key. Appearance, how they look, not only face, is they clean shaven, or do they have a beard? Is it a rough, shaggy beard, or is it a tight knit beard? Do they have hair? Are they bald? Do they have stubble? Is it gray? Are they tall? Are they short? Are the clothes nice, or are they not? Does the character wear t-shirts, or they wear collared shirts, tennis shoes, or dress shoes? All of that stuff matters. So how they look, and even how they walk. If I'm straight up and I walk with pride, or if I'm slumped when I sit, that tells you a lot about a character. So how they carry themselves, how they look, covers a lot of stuff. Thoughts and feelings, that's tougher, but you can know what a character thinks by actually their actions. So if I'm rescuing a puppy from the water, then you can know that I probably believe strongly in life. Like I believe in acting. You might also learn, I might talk to you about family. And if I have a really tough story about family, then you know that I have strong feelings about family. Okay. My mood, if I'm happy or if I'm dour and sort of depressed, that's all part of feelings. So let's quickly break down one character, Steve Brand. All right. So now at this point, you've got this written down and you've got all this written down. So if you haven't done this, pause the video and do this right now. I want all this information on your notes. Okay. We're going to add one more piece. Don't write all of this, but it's there if you want to. What I do want you to do is paraphrase this. So I wrote a lot of stuff down so you can see it. But bottom line is, if you want to like shorten this, as long as you know that each thing is filled in for Steve Brand, I want you to take these notes. So let's take a look at Steve Brand, our hero of Monster Joe Maple Street. Speech. What does he say? Well, here's the thing. He definitely talks as a leader, and he says things like this. He uses humor. He says, well, I guess that we'd better do then is run a check on the neighborhood and see which ones of us are really human. I think he says that to Tommy, but he's basically saying it to the whole neighborhood, saying, dude, we're freaking out. So his words are to try to calm things. He says it the same thing to Les Goodman later on. He says, Les, we're on a monster kick. He doesn't actually say everyone's bad, you're good. He's like, dude, let's settle it down. That's his speech. And he commands attention. He speaks articulately. All right, relationships. Oh, I mean, Steve is respected, man. He's always the first to volunteer. They ask him questions. Everyone looks to him as kind of the leader. He definitely likes his neighbors because he's defending them, and he doesn't want them to make bad decisions. So he's obviously well respected. He's probably lived there a while. Appearance. Well, here's the thing. Steve is clean, shaven, right? There he is right there. He's got slick back hair. He's got a tucked in shirt. It's a collared shirt. He's taller than most. He's kind of big, so there's some power there. Seems like he's a pretty well-respected guy who's kind of all business, and he mostly is. Thoughts and feelings? Well, he doesn't say, here's what I think, but we know that he doesn't jump to conclusions. Like, he's one of the last people. He doesn't ever really believe there's aliens, even though there are. But he's really like, he never even accuses Les Goodman. So he doesn't want to believe this whole thing is true. So he's very logical. He's very reasonable. He believes in facts. Even tries to use it with the ham radio, and he tries to explain, guys, this doesn't make any sense. This is what I do. All right. Lastly, actions. Okay. So here's the thing. He's the first to volunteer. He's the first to dive in there, and he gets in front of the mob and he says, stop, right? That's a leader. So he will be the first to, go downtown. Like, this guy is definitely taking actions to be the community leader. I'm sure he was well respected before, and he's the one who's the most sad to see it fall apart. So what I'd like you to do is take down these notes. So your paper should have the stick figure with all this stuff. It had speech, relationships, appearance, actions, thoughts, and feelings. And in these side boxes, I want you to write something down for Steve Brand. I just gave you examples. Make it shorter than what I did, but I want you to take a picture of that, and that's what you're submitting for homework for today. All right, there you go. Any questions? You let us know.